Help me market, please.
We need 3 pipelines. So every salesperson should have 3 pipelines. You guys are starting to talk to businesses. I know I'm getting a lot of people that are messaging us for businesses and contractors, stuff like that. So you should have 3 pipelines at any given time. So if you're thinking to yourself, I only have 1 sales pipeline, we need to figure out 2 more channels for you. It should be retail, wholesale, contractors, whatever it needs. You should have 3 pipelines, so when one's drying up, you have 2 more that can fall in. So most of us have 1 pipeline. We have retail sales, that's it. We need to start thinking of how we get 2 more pipelines. It could be contractors, it could be HOAs, it can be UTV riding clubs, it could be rental companies. We need to have 3 pipelines that you guys are working on a given day. And this is for both companies. So I can tell you right now that we all collectively have 1 channel. It's really all across the board. You guys are starting to see how easy it is to operate and talk to businesses. It takes a little bit longer to get something across the finish line because there's a lot of red tape and budgets and all this type of stuff. But from kitchens to spas to swim spas to power sports, mostly on the UTV side, you should start figuring out how to have multiple channels, and you should spend a couple minutes to an hour a day developing that channel. It shouldn't all just be retail sales, retail sales, retail sales. That is a channel. But as we've seen, we just went through a lull period with Premier. We had a lull period, obviously, same time they did. You want to make sure that you have 3 channels. So when one's dried up, you can have wholesale. Because if you believe it, even though retail sales is slow, everyone's balancing their budgets right now for spending their dollars for business. This is when they're spending money. So my brother's company, all they do is wholesale. That's all they do. The wholesale and contractors, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Coco Cay, all these big resorts. He will talk to people for up to a year, but when they buy 6, 12, 25. The country of Israel did like a $6 million contract with them. So they take a little longer, so your mindset has to be different. But you need to understand that you should have 3 channels that you guys are working on of revenue and 3 channels of income for commission. So you need to start thinking about what those are going to be. We have all talked about it. We've gone over some suggestions, but we need to start putting that in motion. So what that looks like. For Emily, we've been working on a folder option. This will be for essentially the whole company as a whole, but a channel, for example, for her is contractors. So we hand out a folder to a plumber. They hand their customer that has nothing to do with us a folder that says, here, Jaguar Power Sports and Premier Outdoors on the back of it. They have a tracking phone number, and that tracking phone number leads directly to us for that plumber, and we give that plumber $500 if they sell a spa. So that is a channel because we have other people doing work for us, the movers, for example. So we're starting this folder campaign with movers, anything trade-wise, anything that touches a house. On the back is our advertisement. That's essentially a channel because you have someone else in their business like Duck Duck Rooter that's seeing 50 houses a day handing out our brochure. So that is a channel because that channel, even though you're not hitting your retail sales, that's a channel from someone that you have never done business with, that you have now created another income source. It doesn't have to be a business, but how can you guys get your product to the next level? You don't have to necessarily call every single person. You don't have to do a message template, but what we need to do is have multiple channels. So it could be a business, it could be another advertising method to where someone's doing the work for you, but we need to start working on that. I'm not scared to put advertising dollars or money behind it. The folder idea is probably going to cost about $10,000 a month, but if you have every business owner from every trade handing out your business card as part of their packet, and you have a giant advertisement, it's better than anything else because you have direct to consumer. You know the person has a homeowner. We can do the same thing with the UTVs. But you need to start figuring out and start working on it. I would say an hour a day, start working on your other channels. It can't just be all retail because when you have a slow week, slow day, you want those other 2 channels to work. When I was a dealer rep, I had 5 channels. I had parts, I had service, I had wholesale, I had retail, and I had rental company. So no matter which one was dry, I always had something that was, and it never felt slow because you always had one channel that was doing well. Then all of a sudden you have retail that would take off, and then all of a sudden your channel would just, your pipeline would always be full. So start developing your pipeline.
Help me market, please.